Thank you. Where? Where? That chair? That's fine. Put that in that bottom drawer. Thank you. What's up, Random? What's up, Manic? What's up, Dammy? Dammy, is your name Damien? I'm on my Renzetti Master. The weekly giveaway is flies that I give in that I do in my videos. Did you just hop in to ask me about that, or you want to chill out for a little bit and watch some flies, or what's up? What's up, what's up, what's up? Because this is a fun place to hang out, my dude. Right now I'm tying up Chris McDonald's flies. His order. If you want. Mrs. Aubrey is back here with me tonight. For a little bit. Oh yeah, this is orders, brother. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I got my crank handle for my vise today. It's much better now. Much better. This is becoming one of my favorite vices. This is gonna be a waxworm when we're done. It's like a grub. Trust the process. And I'm tying this side to side. I got my hook sideways in the vise because if I tie it like that, then I'm working against gravity, right? So even though it's still a curved hook, I'm not tying uphill or downhill. It's all just coming the same direction. And I'm using my brand of latex. And you can see how translucent it is. It's good stuff. What's up, Rose? Que pasoros. Nice, Coolio Pulio. That's what's up, my dude. These are for Mr. Chris McDonald, one of my mods. Tying these with wire would really probably be easier, if I'm being honest. But I just feel like it wouldn't look as good, right? I could be wrong. But this thread is the best thread I've found to use with this, but it still has a mind of its own. Like, it's not stiff enough to move forward in between each wrap. Like, see there how it went the opposite way? I want it to go that way. And, you know, I guess I could just push it over like that when I turn, but I guess that works. Okay, I just figured something else out. That's cool. I'm just not used to doing it that way. I hope everybody's staying safe out there, man. Really, I really do. Ugh, get off of there. You know, this is a time when you need to pray for your neighbor, man, because... or you need to keep them in your thoughts, because this is a time where many people are going to lose a lot of things. One of our very own AJ's Custom Flies, one of my moderators, last night, or this morning when he woke up to his entire ceiling and his entire house collapsed, and there was a foot of water, and he lost everything he had. So, and that's a very generous guy. He just recently, I did a fundraiser kind of thing for a child, and he donated hundreds of dollars of stuff to it. Now he just lost all of his stuff. Sad, man. Yeah, he's alright. Just stuff like that makes you think karma isn't even real, man. Only bad karma's real. You know, you do so much good for people and then, bam, just lose everything. Yeah, I've been thinking about it. Okay, speaking of nature spirit fly tying, that my mod Stardusted there just put up. So my giveaway, I spoke to him today, and he's been behind. It has been shipped. I thought that he was just donating a travel bag, which is a really nice nature spirit travel bag. But no, he's donating a travel bag full of materials, so that is incredible for my 100K YouTube giveaway. I'm super excited about that. I know I'm late on the giveaway, but you know, if you want it to be good, it's got to be orchestrated. Several hands involved. You know, I certainly wasn't trying to get all spiritual on you guys about the whole karma thing or about keeping them in your thoughts or whatever. It's just, man, that sucks, dude. Sucks, man. I mean, imagine your ceiling caving in and just losing everything in the blink of an eye. I just couldn't even fathom that, dude. Do I make hooks? I mean, I don't make hooks, but I make flies on the hooks. I don't make the hooks themselves. For people wondering why I don't use the rotary function when I wrap that, because I have this bobbin is still attached. Oh yeah, this is my latex. Check this out. As far as my arms can stretch. Right back to normal. Damage style. I don't understand, but okay. Yeah, pushing it over with my finger really, it might make a little bit of a difference. Yeah, maybe it does. Holy crap. Also, Nature Spirit fly tying. I mean, Nature Spirit, yeah. Magpie Materials fly tying is donating. They have 11 colors of turkey bites, and they're donating a full run of turkey bites, 11 colors. But they're gonna ship it to the winner. So. Okay. Now we're going to tie 2 bluegill bullies. Usually they use copper wire. Where is it? Here we go. I mean, like in total, like in the past, the whole time I've been tying, like since I started tying flies, or just today? Oh, what the heck? The whole time, tens of thousands. Today, I don't know, 70. Yes, this is copper wire. Yes, this is how the fly is tied. Isn't that a beautiful bobbin, y'all? The Fly Smith bobbin. Thank you, baby. Okay, a little trick here. This is a very, very easy thing to do. We're going to grab this, we're going to pull it to the side. And what that's going to do, it's going to act as a bobbin cradle. That way you don't have to use a bobbin cradle. I learned that from Cheech from Fly Fish Food. And you might not be able to tell that hump's there right now, but when that hump, when this gets wet, you'll be able to see it. What? Thank you for trying to help. But sometimes, baby, it's not help, okay? Sometimes it can be, more of an aggravation than anything. Sometimes getting these legs right, it's not fun or not easy. Hold on a second, let me adjust my vise real quick. I haven't got used to this mechanism yet. There we go. Okay, now I gotta tie one more of those. I'm chasing taillights straight as a crow, just this down a country road. I got a shotgun. Very, very good, my friends. Listen to STS9. I own, for anybody wondering, the channel owns the rights to the music that we're playing. We have 100% full monetization, copyright rights to this music. Courtesy of Complete Dot, my moderator there. He paid for the rights, and it was a lot of money. So, tip your hat to the man. Let me see here. I got some thicker black thread sitting here somewhere. We got an 8 on. Here we go. For those that are wondering, I am on the Vivus Pro staff. Vivus Pro staff is not something that you can apply for. You can only be invited. So if anybody would ever want to be on Vivus, you just have to put in the work. There's really no secret to getting on the team. You just have to wait till they notice your efforts. And that's about it. I'm just lucky, that's all. I'm very lucky and very blessed that I'm able to do this for a living. I do the social media for a living. The fly tying is just a bonus. This right here is a bluegill bully fly. And then I gotta make 2 bluegill spiders after this. I've been tying for 2 years. For those of you wondering. I wish I knew why this vise keeps trying to come loose on me, man. I love this vise. It's very smooth. I just got to figure it out. It's the Renzetti Master. Sometimes when I go to turn it, it's like it disengages. And it has ratchet mode too. I need to take out the piece that makes it ratchet, because I don't like that either. Hello, Brooke. Sorry, y'all, I'm a simp. I only reply to female names. Nah, I'm just kidding. I looked down and seen her name. If you guys are wondering why I don't reply to comments, it's because I just don't see them. When I'm looking at my fly here, I can't see what's going on, you know? Speaking of simp, Does anyone here know who Simp Saber Sean is? I love that dude. He cracks me up. Yes, I love it when that happens. I love it. Ooh, I smell a skunk. There's a skunk outside. Smell it? Okay, so whenever that happens, there's really nothing you can do. Gonna burn this back so everything melts back together. And we're gonna reattach our thread. Yeah, I've been sprayed by a skunk before. Tomato juice does help. At least it seemed to help in my brain that day. That's been a long time ago. What's up, Nibbler Girl? Thank you guys so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, now we gotta tie 2 bluegill spiders. And these hooks look a smaller size than what they are. That's because they're short. That's crazy. Smells like updog in here. Huh? What do you mean how? It smells like updog in here. You don't think so, Aubrey? You don't think it smells like updog in here?
All natural dog odors.
Alexa, shut your mouth. Huh? I'm saying it smells like updog. I'm just saying it smells like updog.
I don't know what updog is.
Okay? You don't have to know what it means.
The dog is up.
I don't get what you're saying now. Okay. Smells like updog in here. What?
What's updog?
Nothing much. What's up with you? She said it. What's up, dog? Nothing much. What's up with you? Oh, man. Oh, wow. an 11-year-old is entertaining sometimes, dude. How would you know? You don't have an 11-year-old. Shit, me too. Yep, little bluegill spider. Appreciate you, Pen. Chris, if these legs are a little long, you can trim them, buddy. But I'm gonna leave them long like that. Because I know you're gonna be fishing these for bluegill. And when they come washing through the water, those long legs are what's gonna trigger some strikes, bud. Yeah. I love fly tying too, man. Alright, got one more fly to tie for Chris's order, then we're on to the next order. This is the last one for his order. And he wanted all barbed hooks, so as you see there, there's a barb. So, the reason I like these old classic hooks, because look at this. See the barb on that? Now look at the barb on that. And I only fish barbless flies. I just like the look of a big old fat barb. Come on. Nuh-uh, your name is Steve F, which means Steve Fake. I'm on to you, Steve. Getting this foam to cooperate is, it's never an easy task. That's 2 words, man. I don't see an R on the end. We'll fake it till you make it Steve over here. I'm just kidding, bud. It is a little spider. Just wait till we're done. Whoa, what the hell happened right there? Did y'all see that? What the hell, man? What?
So what is that one called?
The what called, baby?
What's that one called?
I don't know. I don't look at the comments that much. I can't look at the fly and my phone at the same time. Yeah. We call those annoying spam comments. Hey, that's what's up, Yeet. Jeet, whatever, however you say it. My spidey senses are tingling. Yeah, I should probably never say that again. Okay. Now we have to tie two top secret midges. The original top secret midge was tied in brown, but we are doing these in the color black, and this is a size 22. This is my pinky nail for reference. Flatten our thread out here. You guys see me spinning my thread. Okay, so I want you to take note of something here. You see how the thread looks flat? So if I keep spinning it, you can see it go flat all the way down. You see it flattening out? That's why I spin my thread counterclockwise. Now, if I spin it the other way, it'll cord up. See that? See how the flatness is going away? So now I'm going to spin it back the other way. Thank you, Darren. My last name is Smith too. So that's why I do that. Is this too zoomed in, or do you guys like this? Okay. Now we're going to grab some white thread. Now in the original, he doesn't do it the way that I do it, but I like a nice prominent rib. Now you'll see as I start to wrap this, you'll notice that the flatness starts to go away. Okay, so that's why it's because I'm right-handed, and companies haven't figured. The only company that's ever figured out how to wrap thread backwards is Lagarten and myself. But I don't do my own thread anymore. I did for a little bit. So basically I have to stop and flatten it out every few wraps if I want to have a nice smooth body. Now if you don't flatten it out, then imagine what that would look like if I had like a twisted thread, right? It wouldn't look as good. So then we're going to grab this and put it in our dubbing spinner, and we're going to twist it up. And now you see it twisting. Okay. So now when I go to wrap this up, I'm going to wrap it with my vise sideways like this. That way I'm wrapping on a flat instead of wrapping uphill. Okay. this off and I'll save this for the next one. And now some people put resin on the body. That's perfectly acceptable. But I'm just going to take some of this Vineyards brush coat. Ever so slightly, just over the top, that way it can soak into those thread wraps. Okay, now the original Top Secret midge uses a braided looking material. Which I have right here. The original, I can't remember what the name of it is. It's a material that you can get at like Hobby Lobby. I'm having a brain fart though. Madeira. It's called Madeira. Okay. We're going to trim that. Well, we'll wait till the end to trim that off. And then he wanted black. So I'm going to put a little bit of black dubbing. But not too much, not enough to cause a fuss. Just a little bit. And then I'm going to whip finish. I'll bring my thread up and pop it out. And when I do that, it leaves nothing. Well, that right there, but usually it doesn't leave anything at all. I'm going to trim that, and that is the Top Secret midge. Now, if I compare this to, let's see here. This is a dollar bill, a standard dollar bill. If I compare this to a standard dollar bill, right? So you can get an idea of how small it is. So, but this is pretty big compared to some of the midges I tie. Guys, my daughter's sitting beside me, so please refrain from the sexualized comments. And yes, I am aware that it's almost 10 o'clock at night, but it's not a school night. And she's been asking me if she could sit back here with me, beside me some night. So this is the night. This is for fly fishing. Okay. Now we're going to take that white thread that we sat down earlier. Yeah, I'm hoping so, Darren. Pull that in. Flatten out my thread. You'll be able to watch it flatten out. You'll see it go from the top all the way to the bottom. Ooh. And sometimes you can't really tell that it flattened out by looking at it like that. You just know. Notice how it's still staying flat? That's how I know I over flattened it a little bit. Hello, Riley. Okay, so after this fly, we're going to talk about thread tension. Which is a very important important thing to learn. It's one of the most essential things you can learn for fly tying. It's really thread control is the most important part of fly tying. If you can't control your thread, then you can't tie a fly efficiently, and that's just the bottom line. So we're going to learn a little bit about that tonight. And again, I just put a little bit on there because if a hungry trout comes up and smacks this, now it's not just going to fall right apart. Because it has head cement on it, and head cement is like it's a glue, right? It's a varnish. Not only does it keep it together, but it makes it shiny as well. So if I spin my thread counterclockwise, now the thread's going to jump towards my fingers. Ready? See that? Jump towards my fingers, which allows me to tie materials in. If I spin it the other way, it's going to jump the other way. See that? So when I go to lift this up, it's jumping the other way. So the reason that's so useful Lisa asked for my home address. She might be asking me that. Lisa, you can send me a message and I can give you a P.O. box. So now we're going to come up here, and since it's jumping towards my fingers are stopping it, and it allows me to tie the materials in. So if I didn't spin it, this is what this looks like. Right? See how that jumped right off of it? Again. See that? So now I'm going to grab this. Now it jumps, and it allows me to tie that in effortlessly. Okay? See, little tips like that are what makes a fly tyer much better at what they do. And I've only been tying for 2 years. But in that 2 years, I have been lucky enough to obtain a lot of information and many different techniques. See how that keeps jumping right there? Just pinch it. That's it. Okay, also, you want to make sure your thread is nice and flat when you do a whip finish. Alexa, turn the volume down 1 click. Phew, Jesus Christ. Okay. I'm gonna come up here, pop it out. I've taught how to do that a couple of times. I can show you guys again if you need to know how. And that is the top secret midge. Now, as small as this seems, I have a hook that is like a 30th of this size. Literally a 30th. I'm not kidding. Handmade hooks, the smallest hooks that were ever made. River, yeah, use code first order for 10% off. Even if it's not your first order, you can use it 100 times. I don't care. Okay, now next on the list, we have a pattern that I created. And this pattern is called the Moment of Silence. Okay. So, real quick, we're going to talk about thread tension or thread control. Thank you, River. So, you'll notice when I start my thread, I start like this. Most people start like this. And that's fine. I do that sometimes, but when you come in from the back side, it anchors it. So if I come in from the top, I'm slipping and sliding, right? When you come in from the bottom, it anchors your thread. And now I've taken one wrap, but that's technically 2 wraps if I would have wrapped the other. So watch this. 1, 2. Now you see what 2 wraps looks like? Watch this. 1 wrap. So 1 wrap is actually 2 wraps when you do it this way. So thread control means the main part of thread control is the distance between your bobbin tip and the hook. Right? See this line right here? This should remain the same size at all times. I'm sure you guys have seen people, they'll go like this and then they pull out thread. Then they'll go like this till it winds up. Then they'll pull out more thread. That's poor thread control. So you gotta make sure you have the proper tension set. Now, yeah, you wanna make a perfect circle with every single wrap. Okay? So you'll notice when I tie, I'm making a perfect circle. And I'm letting the thread throttle itself. Right? I have the same distance. Now I might shorten it up here and there. I might shorten up the wraps every once in a while, but it's always the same. I don't know why I just did that, but it's always the same amount. Like even if I'm down here, you know, I'm gonna keep this bobbin the same amount of distance away. So I might be up here, I might be this far out, I might be this close, but it's always gonna be that far away when I'm making those specific wraps. And I like to work at about 1.5 inches, 2 inches gap. Now right now it looks like it's a lot more because I'm zoomed in on this fly. Okay, I gotta grab something out of my drawer here. One second. Huh. Are you serious right now? With the 2 J&As. Ah, you're so funny, J&As. Please be appropriate, brother. My daughter's sitting here. Okay, so I have lost my bag of quills, and that's not good because that is one of my favorite bags in this entire room. And I just had them earlier because I was tying earlier. What the heck? 1 second, y'all. I sat them somewhere right here, and I know I'm looking right at them. I just have to find them. Baby, you don't know what it is. But thank you. It's a bag of quills. You don't know what that is, right? Okay, I found them. I was looking right at them. I'm tripping. Okay. So again, this is my pattern. This is called the moment of silence. Because you gotta give a moment of silence for all the fish that this thing slays. We're gonna grab some quills. Okay, another thing. When tying in materials, a lot of times I'll watch people tie stuff in and they'll try to do it on top of the shank. And that's cool if you know how to tie stuff in. But the best way, in my opinion, is to come underneath. See, now I've made an X. There's an X there with my thread and my hook. Right? Boom, just like that. And sometimes my thread tension, I don't pay attention, and sometimes I'm winding, pulling. That's just because I'm not paying attention, and that happens. Now we're gonna grab some orange Vivus tinsel here, or yeah, orange tinsel, not Vivus, I'm sorry. And you don't have to use orange, you can use whatever color you'd like. Damn it. See, I should have flattened out my thread. Now watch how much easier. Also, if we take this, snip a little bit of an angle into it. Now, I have just a little edge that I can grab. You see how much easier that was for me to grab that edge? Right? Okay. And whenever, this goes without saying, but whenever, so I'm going to wrap this material before I wrap this. Okay? So I'm wrapping this first, so I tie this in last. That way it's not underneath of the other material. I can go ahead and wrap it on top. Okay, and again, my vise is on its side now because now I don't have to wrap uphill. Now I'm wrapping on a flat plane. Even though this hook has a curve to it, it doesn't matter. Because it's flat, because it's on its side. Now it has a curve, right? I'm going to save that for our next one. Now you got to be real gentle with these because these will break. I have a pair of Hackle pliers, my tiesflies, not tiesflies, but tiesflies Hackle pliers, and I don't know where they're at, but those are, to me, the best thing for wrapping quills because they're so soft and they're not very heavy, and if it slips out of your hand, it's not going to break your quill. Okay. Now we're tying two of these. So I'm going to go ahead and take this, snip this out of here. Give me 1 second, let me clean these flies out. Check out my mosquitoes. My house flies. Let me clean some of these out real quick so I have room. Okay, now I'm going to add some resin. Yeah, I specialize in realism. I do have a realistic fly or two to tie tonight if I get to them. And you can really see that body. You get the realistic looking segmentation, but you also get a little flash in there. Okay, we're not done with that fly. I'm just letting it cure in my UV resin lamp over here. And then after I'm done putting the body on this, I'm gonna grab that one out and finish it up. What do you mean the whole set, Sean? No, I do make realistic worms. Check out my site. I make the most realistic worm you've ever seen. If you go look in my videos at my shorts, I made the realistic earthworm video. It got like, last time I looked at it, it was like 15.3 million views on here. It got over 50 million views across all platforms. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Now we're going to grab that same piece of tinsel here, if I can find it. Oh, gotcha. Now, you see those ridges right there? See how it looks like little bumps all up and down that? It's because my thread was not flattened out. So now I'm going to flatten my thread and look at the difference. See that? That's why I flattened my thread. See how rough from here back? See how it looks like little bumps? And then I flattened my thread going forward. Hey, I appreciate you, David. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Smiles, how's that new bobbin, man? You never gave me any feedback on it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Flattening your thread makes everything so much better. Awesome. Now, it doesn't make much of a difference when you're covering it up like this, but it's still a good practice to have for thread body flies. So now, this time I'm not gonna put my hook sideways, and even though I'm gonna be able to wrap this up fine, like if I slip right here, this is gonna come sliding down like a slide. So that's why I always keep my hook sideways when I wrap stuff up. But I'm decent enough of a tire where I don't have to, but I still do. You're so funny, guest. Are you like third grader? Somebody get that comment out of here, please. wonder if when people say that joke, if they think like, oh my god, this is gonna be hilarious. This person's never heard this 300 times a day for the past 2 years. Or if they're just like, oh, let me shoot my shot. You know, like, so now I'm gonna exchange these. Correct, this is the bait. Game King, yes, I remember you. Absolutely. I'm not gonna repeat what he says. Stupid. Whoops, 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 whoops. Dang it, why does that keep happening? Okay. Now the dubbing that you want to decide to use at this point is player's choice. But I like this peacock black dubbing. I mean, peacock black, yeah. This orange dubbing. I read it wrong. I can teach you how to tie a hook on a line, but you know, that's a very, I mean, if you want me to show you how I tie it on real quick, I will. But I don't do it any fancy way. I do it the easiest way possible. Okay, now I'm gonna grab some hen. Grabbing some Brahma hen here. If I can find it in my drawer, be in good shape. Please don't just head track me on. It's like when I say, is anything coming? Your head's moving with mine and I can't see what's coming down the road. It's kind of the same thing when I'm looking in a drawer, right? Hold on 1 second, y'all. Here's my bag. This has got me Brahma hen in it. Among other things. You going back now? Okay, I love you, baby. So now I'm gonna grab my Brahma hen, and I use this because this looks very much like partridge, but it's not partridge. But you still get that partridge look without having fibers that are really weak. Love you, baby. Good night, baby. Sweet dreams. Okay, and we're just gonna grab very little. This is just the tip. That's what she said. See, I could say that now because my daughter's out of the room. That doesn't mean to be perverts now, I'm just saying. Okay. Catch this right on top. I'm going to put a little bit more than that, actually. be a little bit longer as well. That's also what she said. Okay. But I don't want it to be, you know, I don't want it to be sticking way out. But I will, well. So this time I'm going to put too much hackle. I'm probably not going to wrap all this hackle, but I might. But if I don't, I'll show you how you catch this in. That's crazy, RJ. Shay never said that to me. She said, "Why did you hurry up?" Oh, man. So you see that this is trying to go everywhere. It's not that big of a deal. It is good to sweep it back. Okay, so this is all I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this with my thread, and then I'm going to break this down. And now you'll notice that I didn't trap any fibers, right? So now when I go to cut this piece, see that? No trapped fibers at all. And we're just going to come up against it. That looks beautiful. What's up, Colt? Oh no. So, since that just happened, I'm not going to freak out about it. We're going to grab this. We're going to pull it back. What the hell? Okay, I see what happened. Okay, pull this back, grab my lighter, tap it. That's okay if you get a fiber or two, if you burn a fiber or two, it doesn't matter. Okay. AKA multi-tool, that's right. This is the color cinnamon, by the way, this dubbing. UV cinnamon. Are there any tips or techniques that you guys need help with? In particular? This is the same fly. It's called the Moment of Silence. This is my creation. I do make realistic stoneflies, but I'm not making any of those tonight. Finishing the hackle on a Catskill. Okay, I got you. Also, Whiting Farms is not good for Catskills. Sidling Hill or Collins Hackle is the best. Also, I'm not just stroking this back. I'm grabbing this and I'm pulling this forward. See all that? You know what that is? That's from where I poke myself with the hook. Constantly. Okay, so this time when I trap this, watch, I'm gonna trap these fibers forward on purpose. I'm gonna make a mess. Okay? How to use a whip finish tool, I got you. So now we're just gonna grab this and I'm gonna preen it back. And we're gonna come to the eye and work back. But now it's like it was never even there. Okay, so I'm not gonna go into super detail here, but I'll show you how to use a whip finisher. Here, let me grab the kind that you probably have. So you're gonna set it in this ridge, then you're gonna bring it forward, then your hook or your bobbin's gonna go parallel with your hook shank, and then you pick up. Okay? It's a very simple motion. All I'm doing is I'm twisting this towards the left and picking up. Then we're gonna wrap towards the eye. Then I'm gonna pop it off, pull it back. Then I'm gonna grab with my fingers and pop it off. Metz is alright, Jim. Old Metz is alright. The newer stuff isn't worth a crap, from what I hear. I have some older Metz. I don't have any of the new stuff. I do, well, I have some, actually. But I've never tried using it for, you know, that purpose. Alright, so right here, I got some stuff in the eye of my hook. So what I'm going to do, I'm looking for a hackle feather here. And I'm going to cut a piece off of this hackle feather. I'm going to take it right through the eye. Now my eye is clear. Okay, wrapping it, finishing off a Catskill. And there you go. That's what you call consistency. Okay, so finishing off a Catskill fly. I have this hackle on here because earlier I was showing my daughter how to wrap hackle. Okay. First things first, when tying Catskill flies, do not use black thread. Don't do it. Just don't do it. There is a reason, but just don't, okay? So I'm not going to tie a full Catskill fly here. I'm just going to show you how to do the hackle real quick. So I do need to put something here for a set of wings. So, but instead of tying in wings, we're just going to pretend that this right here is wings. Because, you know, also, you want your wings to be at about the 1/3 point. Yeah, this doesn't have a hook point. This is my practice hook. That's why I said my daughter was practicing on it. This is, I cut it off that way she didn't poke herself. Sorry, I should have said something about that. Okay. Now, I don't care what these look like, whatever. We're just pretending here that these are Catskill wings, right? Just for pretend. So I'm only grabbing a small piece of hackle. This looks like the right size hackle, actually, but... What's up, Ethan? Appreciate you, my dude. Hope you've been alright, man. Okay, that is a terrible thing to use, actually. Here, let's do it like this. I don't want to waste any of my good wood duck. Well, it's not a waste. Here's what we're gonna do. Usually I use 2 wood duck feathers, so that's what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna find 2 that aren't great since I'm not gonna be keeping this fly. Wow, I found every feather in here is good though, that's the problem. So when tying Catskills, what you're wanting to do, a lot of people will take a Catskill, and yes, I know the hook has no point on it, this is practice. A lot of people will take a Catskill and they'll cut the center of it out, and then it's like a V, and then don't do that. So what you want to do is you strip the sides, you leave the center in. Okay? And I like it to be about the width of the hook. So we're going to do the same thing over here. And this is the way that Catskills are done all the time. This is like the way to do it. We're going to make sure we got the same amount, right? Okay, then we're going to come in here. We're going to stack these back to back. Okay. Then we're going to work this down. Now you got to make sure they stay fanned out from each other. Okay, now we're going to come forward. Now you see that, how they're fanned out still? We're going to measure it. And when you go to start your thread, don't start it up at the eye. So when I start my thread, I start it at the point that I don't want to come past. Right, with Catskills, as you know, they don't come all the way up to the eye. Okay, so I'll grab my wings. And I don't care if these are the right size, I really don't. And I only take a couple wraps. Then I leave this as long as I can. That way, I know I'm going to get a nice smooth body. So then I come down the body, and now I have a perfect taper. Okay? So then when I get to this point, it's already separated. Right? So I make sure though that I didn't trap anything. And we're going to push this back as far as you can. Then I'm going to pull this back. And now we're here. Then we're going to wrap backwards. We're going to wrap our bobbing backwards. So instead of wrapping towards the right, I'm wrapping towards the left. And you only take a couple wraps. And now I'm going to anchor this one over to push it back again. And then I'm going to start going backwards. And I'm keeping a great deal of tension on this thread. Okay. Then I'm going to pull this back, put a couple wraps in front. And now these wings are standing perfectly straight. Alright. That is the way to tie in to do Catskill wings. Okay. Now for the hackle, there's several different ways you can do this. Now this is a really small piece of hackle. So again, I do not want to come past that point where my thread is. So I'm going to cut this a little bit shy of that point. And I'm going to stop a little, one wrap shy. Okay, now I'm going to pull this forward. And this isn't the right size hackle, this is just a demonstration. And I like to take 3 wraps behind. And don't be scared to sweep it back, just like you would a wet fly. And 3 wraps in front. Do not be scared to sweep it back. Okay, now, once I'm at this point, I'm going to come to the right, and I'm going to wrap this around. And now when I lift my thread up, that stem is now pushed back into those hackle wraps. Okay, then I'm going to put my scissors up against here and pop it right off. and now there's no sign of a stem, no sign of any excess. Then I'm gonna come back, and from where I swept everything back earlier, now I have a clean way to oh no, 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 no. Oh man, my thread just came loose. Damn it. That's alright, it doesn't matter. That's how you do it. And then you'd whip finish. See, that one little mistake at the end messed the whole fly up. But now it looks messed up. Now we're gonna grab it and we're gonna pull it outwards. And this hackle is no longer tied in tightly from where it came loose on me, so it's not gonna fix itself. No, you want 3 reps. You want the same amount in the front as you do in the back. Okay, because now my wings are right dead in the center of my hackle. Now that's not a very good looking fly because I just messed that up. But you can grab your hackle and you can pull it and make it wherever you want, right? This is my daughter's practice hook, y'all. Okay, moving on. Now we're going to tie a Wally Wing mayfly. You're welcome, man. Now this is like a realistic mayfly-like pattern. And this is one of my favorite things to tie. I mean, these are so fun. So when I start my hook on this one, I'm going to save that piece of thread that I just popped off of there. Now I'm going to grab some mallard. And you don't need a huge feather, man. Actually, the bigger feathers have thicker stems and that makes it harder to do. Oh, I know they are, Smaz. I've watched you tie hundreds of these. Now we're going to pull this down on both sides, and you can get more than one fly out of one feather, but yeah, this one's pretty small, so it'll only yield one. Pull this down, pinch it, tie it, make sure it's centered, make sure it's standing up. Now that's not good because see how my stem isn't tight on the shank? So I'll do that again, making sure my stem is what's tied on the shank. Perfect. Okay. And as you see, cutting it long ways gives you a perfect body. Perfect taper. And this isn't about taking your time or anything. It's about putting the thread reps precisely. Okay, now I'm going to grab 2 fibers. And see, sometimes when that happens, well, you might as well just throw it off of there because you ain't fixing that. And that just happens sometimes. It really does. Happens a lot when you're tying in Wally Wings. So we'll do that again. Hey, I appreciate you, man. Yeah, it happens a lot because you can't predict what's going to happen with a natural material, right? So the fibers get all wonky. But we're just going to do it again. So again, when I pull this down though, I got to make sure that I have the same amount of fibers on both sides. Okay. Now you see how that's even there in the middle? That's what you want. So I'm just going to grab this. Got a broken fiber here. Let me pull that one forward. And it's not rocket science to figure it out. It just takes a little bit of time. Like sometimes it wants to go crooked, and I've sat here and messed with a pair of wings for 10 minutes several times. I messed with them for longer than that when I first started. And sometimes I'll actually use like a pin cap or something. And this time, if I can't get it right, I'll tie it in upside down. Because it doesn't matter which way you tie it as long as you split it, right? Now I'm not gonna tie it upside down because I'm trying to demonstrate, but you can tie it upside down if you can't get it to go any other way. So once I get it where I want it here, we'll be good to go. And like I said, dude, sometimes it takes a while. And it has to do with the feather, it has to do with me, it has to do with several different things, but it has to be perfect, because if I'm going to sell something to somebody, you better believe they're going to get a quality fly. Here we go. This is it right here. Now I can tell right now this is going to be crappy. The reason I can tell is the way these fibers over here come over the top and these fibers go towards the bottom. Can't have that. See, like y'all watched me tie the last one in instantly. This is a different feather. It's got a curve to it. And it's just not going as planned. And I can mess with this thing all night. It doesn't matter. Okay, so when this happens, I have a thing over here. Well, I thought I did. Never mind. I was going to put it inside of a Sharpie or a ink pen cap. So now I'm just going to have to take my time before I stick this back up there, and that's all there is to it. Because there's nothing you can do when this happens. If I wasn't a perfectionist, it wouldn't even matter. There we go. But I am a perfectionist, so it does matter. I want to make sure, if people are buying flies from me, I want them to get good flies. Okay, 2 fibers. See, this one wants to do the same thing now. Man, this is the price of... This is why your orders take me 8 weeks to dispatch. Because you can't predict materials, and sometimes it'll take me 30 minutes to tie a 5-minute fly. So when you order from me, just know I'm going to be sure that you get the best fly possible. There's a reason why I have a couple celebrities that get their flies from me and me only. It's because they know when they come to me, they're going to get good stuff. Okay. So this time we're not going to mess around with this thing all night. I'm going to grab it. I'm just going to tie it in. Okay, try this one more time. This time I'm going to grab 3 fibers. See? Alright, got it that time. Okay, so I'm going to grab that. I'm going to grab the other side. And then I'm going to take this stem and I'll pull it up through. And the reason for this is because you'll see there's a drop off right below the stem. So I'm going to tie it down a little bit below the drop off. And now that's going to aid in my taper. Well, if I go all the way to the end, it'll aid in my taper. Right? So now you see I've got the perfect body there. Then we're going to pull these to the side and get them situated however you're wanting it. Whoa, what the hell? Okay. And this is going to be a spinner. So the wings are going to be on the side. Then I'm going to grab this up here, snip it off. Looks like we got an extra fiber. Pop it right off. And now if I want these wings to stand up, I can stand them up. So we'll stand them up a little bit. Perfect, okay? Okay, now I'm gonna grab some moose hawk, which is sitting right here, right here it is. And this fly is gonna be 100% natural. The only synthetic material is gonna be my thread. So now this is moose hawk. And this is gonna be the last fly of the night, y'all. I'm getting real tired. See, dude, I didn't get much done. I didn't get many tied tonight. That's because they take a long time. Okay, so now I've got 3 fibers here. And I'm still going to stack it even though it's only 3, because I want to make sure this fly is perfect. And now, again, natural materials do what natural materials want to do. So we're going to wrap this all the way up to the top. And we're going to make sure these fibers are side by side by side. You don't want them on top of each other. Okay. Now, remember earlier I said that we were going to leave our tag end of our thread. So I'm going to come in here with my fingernail. We're going to separate these. Grab this thread and come between them. Okay, and I'm all about my taper. So I'm going to turn around. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So you can see I have a bump right here. So we're going to fix it. I'm going to come into the bump. We're going to cut one piece, and I'll come a little bit further, and I'm going to cut the other. And as you see, the bump disappeared. So now, the further I tie back, the more pressure, the further these will splay out. You see that? See how they're spreading like a V? See that? So you gotta make sure I push them together and then I give them their final little resting place. And these are natural materials. They're not gonna look perfect. I don't care if you're Houdini, you're not gonna make them look perfect. You can make them look good enough to take a photo real quick, but they're not gonna stay like that. I don't care how much resin you put on it. It doesn't matter because these are natural materials and resin don't stick to it very good at all. Thank you, buddy. So now we're going to come in here. Now this is thin enough that it doesn't really matter for the taper. So I'm just going to tie that straight in. Okay. Now before I start to wrap this, I'm going to put just a touch of this super glue. Now the reason I do that is because now this is a piece of peacock curl. I'll show you where it comes from, but let me wrap this up before my super glue dries real quick. And you don't have to take touching wraps with this. You can do open wraps, whatever you want. This is your fly when you're tying it, right? So if there's like little gaps in it, it's perfectly acceptable. Fly tying should be fun. See, if I didn't have super glue on, that would have came completely unraveled, but it didn't. Also, if you rub super glue, just rub your fingers. So, peacock curl that I just wrapped right there, that is from a peacock curl. And the feather that it comes from, I'll show you here. So, this is a peacock curl eye. If you look at the back of this feather, you'll notice this dark strip. So, you can see where it starts to turn thin. So let me cut one out. Okay, so all you get out of this whole piece is only about an inch. But you can see where that dark side is, but that's got hurl on it. So, I'm about to give away a trade secret here. Now what a lot of people do, this is a trade secret. A lot of people will dip it in wax, okay? Now like paraffin wax, or like maker's wax, stuff that you can get in the Hispanic section at Walmart, or the wax for cooking. So now we grab one feather. If I grab this with my fingers, the hurl will come right off with it. And that's how you get hand-stripped peacock curls. Okay? But usually, what I'll do... See, look at that. Usually what I will do is I'll use a pencil eraser. Yeah, golf wax, there you go. And if you use a pencil eraser, you don't have to worry about breaking it with your fingernail. Just take an eraser, rub it, and the stuff will come right off of it. But a lot of times people will take the peacock curl and they won't get it from the eye section, and they'll, no, I don't chemically strip. I have some chemically stripped ones, but using bleach, to me, it just ruins them. It makes them so brittle. Even if you soak them in water afterwards before you use them, they're so brittle. Okay, and believe it or not, peacock eye feathers are hydrophobic. So when you put resin on there, it's like it won't bead up like it's supposed to, or it's like it beads up and it won't spread out. That's because it's hydrophobic, okay? And then when the wax goes on there, that don't help at all. Nothing really. These wings will get damaged, that's for sure. It's just part of it though. You want a pretty looking fly, they can get damaged and they will. Okay, I'm gonna add another little glob of resin there. And this is ultraviolet resin. It cures at 395 nanometers, or maybe 295, I don't remember. But it's ultraviolet resin at 395 nanometers. And then my light shines at 395 nanometers. So it cures it like almost instantly. Appreciate that, Mickey. Chris, that's the best place to buy them. And now, I can put UV resin on this tail, but it's not going to stay. Yeah, now some people like Smides, he'll take resin and put them on the wings. But I don't like to do that because it makes them too heavy and they'll topple over in the water. But, you know, his customers don't complain about it, so I don't know. But anyway, so now we're going to grab this. Moose hawk again. You can use whatever material you want, it doesn't really matter. Grab it by the tips. Here's a tip. So when you grab deer or anything, spread it out in your fingers. That way when you grab that and pull, it's not all matted up. See how easy all that just came out of there? And now I'm not going to stack the tips on this because I'm going to cut the tips off. And you don't need a lot, just a little bit. And now UV resin will become a matte color. It won't stay shiny unless you cure it longer than I did. So, oh no. Oh, I thought I pulled my tail out. Okay, just a couple fibers, that's all we need. Okay, and I'm looking here, checking my proportions, making sure everything's good. Now we're gonna go back to that resin, this eye. I don't like to buy strung peacock curl. It's never good. So your bigger, thicker stuff is gonna come from right below the eye. And you'll notice that it's cupped. You notice how the fibers are kind of cupped in there? So what I do is I am looking at the front of the feather right now, and I cut off the tip, and we're going to tie it in by the tip. And I want that cup to face rearwards, because I think it just looks so good when you do that. Okay, so we're going to get this feather facing the right way. And now my cup. See how it's like cupped towards the rear? See how pretty that looks? And we're going to keep it like that. Just going to take a few more wraps. And when you tie it in by the tip, you don't have a big thick stem there that's going to crush everything down. Okay? If you guys like when I do teaching like this, let me know. Because usually I just sit here quietly, but I don't get nearly as much done when I'm teaching. So I can't do it all the time, but it's a Friday night. Okay. I'm tying a Wally Wing mayfly right now. So now we're going to grab some CDC. And for those of you that do not know what CDC is, CDC stands for Col de Canard. And it is the... So, geese and ducks and any type of bird pretty much secrete, not any type, most birds secrete a waterproof material or a waterproof oil, and then they rub it all over themselves, and that's what CDC is. So it has these waterproof oils already on them, which make them an excellent material to use for dry flies, because these are literally meant to stay on top of the water. Okay, and I'm going to take this feather, and if you get CDC and it has this on it, same with marabou. All you got to do is remove it, and now you have more CDC under there. Well, it's not it's the same amount of CDC, but now you're able to use the whole thing without it being crooked. So I'm going to grab this piece of foam here, and it's easier for me to not do it like here. You've seen how I was doing it, but I'm going to grab this. Dang, look at that CDC. That is so nice. So basically, when I pull this down in between there, it goes like this, and it stands up. Okay, now I'm going to grab my CDC clamp. The fly smith. And this was the first iteration. We're going to come in here. And now the CDC makes it look not as realistic, but it aids in keeping it up off the water, and it makes it look like more than just mayflies, right? Makes it look like a cluster of midges or several different things. We're gonna come in here, pop this out. I'm gonna spin this up. Oh, shucks. I'm gonna spin this up. So basically what that does is it intertwines everything together. So now I can pull on this CDC and it's in there, right? It won't come out. So now I'm going to sweep this all back. Whoa. Hold on, something weird just happened. Okay. Okay, now, at this point, this is where you want to put these wings where you want them. You better get them where you want them now. I'm going to shorten it up a little bit, because you don't get a second chance after that. Well, you can still move them around, but, you know. Okay, also, you can leave this down here, but I'm going to cut it off. Just this part. Okay. Then I'm going to come up in here. I'm going to see what's going to be in the way. I'm going to cut it out. And this is my wing case. Pull this over. Couple of wraps. Come right up over top of it. Hold on, let me do that again. And now the whole point of that CDC, not only is this fly going to float pretty decently, but now when it hits the water, it's going to spread out, right? And what the fish is going to see is multiple things. So I like to grab these one by one and pop them off, but sometimes they won't pop off. We'll just cut them though. But usually I grab them one by one, pop them off. So now at this point, another fun thing to do, to pull everything down. Okay? Don't even worry about it. The reason I pull it down is just so a bunch of resin don't get caught up in there. Now this might look good to y'all, but this wasn't the optimal situation for these wings. These wings got a little messed up on me, because you'll see where this curves in. See this right here? This right here, where my bodkin is inside of. See that little curve right there? That's not good. So now these wings aren't pretty, but I mean, to the average person, to the person that gets this fly, you know, it's gonna look good. They're not gonna recognize the difference, but I do. So now we're just gonna build this up a little bit. Build a nice little piece up on top. And now this time I'm gonna let this soak into the wings, get my wings in their final position, hit it with the resin. The wings got a little twisted on me, so you know. But to a fish, dude, this right here is a snack, all right? And this is all organic. The only material that isn't organic is the thread, and the super glue and the resin, but the materials. But now when this is on the water, see what I'll do is I'll take these wings, and now that they've been cured with resin, if you try to bend them, you see how that happens? That's good. That'll keep them from bending down too far. So now when it hits the water, you've got a bigger wing profile. It looks like the mayfly is dead. So if you cast this up into a riffle, you want the wings down. But if I'm going to cast this in still water, I'm going to lift them up a little bit. That way it looks like the mayfly is maybe still alive and it's trying to get itself together to take off, and then a hungry trout's going to come up and smash it. You got to get inside the mind of a fish, and I am in no way, shape, or form a good fisherman, but I'm a good tire, and I know how to make bugs look like bugs, and that right there will smash. So I like to tie. I like to, you know, there's just so many techniques that you can't learn overnight. So the best thing to do if you want to get into fly tying, or if you are into fly tying, don't look at, you know, my work, or don't look at pretty flies. Go on YouTube. If you want to learn how to tie a fly as a beginner, go on YouTube and type in whatever fly you're learning, which what I recommend, I thought I still have my glasses on. What I recommend doing when you first get into tying is, Alexa, stop the music. Don't try to do patterns. So if I say, or you say, oh, what should I tie? I say, okay, tie me 100 woolly buggers. Okay, you can tie 100 woolly buggers, and when you're done, I'm going to say, okay, now tie a pheasant tail nap, and you're going to be like, what? So instead, you take the materials, you figure out how the materials work, and once you figure out how the materials work, then you can look at any type of pattern and say, okay, this is what this needs. Like if I grab a pattern out of my fly box, or if I go into a fly shop and I'm like, ooh, that's a nice pattern, I can pick it up, take a picture of it. When I get home, I know exactly what those materials are and how to tie it. But if I sit here and tied woolly buggers over and over and over again, when I first started, I wouldn't know a thing about materials. So I suggest working with just the materials when you first get started. So there was something else I was going to tell you. Oh yeah, so that being said, once you get to where you're tying different patterns and you go on YouTube, you look at my videos and all my thumbnails, my flies look perfect. That's because I am good at making flies look perfect. That does not make me a good fly tyer, okay? Anybody, if I set you down and you've never touched a vise, I can set you down right now and we could practice together, and within an hour I can have you tying, or a couple hours I can have you tying perfectly beautiful fly. If you tie the same one over and over and over. That doesn't make you a good fly tyer. I'm not a great fly tyer. I'm just good at making flies look good. As you saw with this that I just tied, I made mistakes with the wings. I made several mistakes. So my suggestion to you, if you want to get into this, is go on YouTube and look up whatever pattern you want to tie and find the ugliest one. So if you type in pheasant tail nymph, and the first, you're going to see the prettiest ones because that's what everybody's watching. Scroll down a little bit, and then you'll see ones with less views more than likely, and they won't look very good. Well, that gives you a chance to do better, right? So if you try to tie, if you go find my video that I did of a woolly bugger, it's a perfect woolly bugger. So when you try to tie that, you're not going to tie a perfect woolly bugger your first time or your third time, maybe even your 20th time. You're going to get discouraged, you're going to be down about it, and you're going to be like, oh, this sucks, I'm never going to be able to do this, and it's going to kill your inner hopefulness. Instead, find the ugliest stuff. Thank you, Heart. Find the ugliest, just kidding. Find the ugliest fly, the ugliest patterns that you can, and tie those. Do not click on the pretty videos if you are still learning, because I'm telling you right now, when I first started tying, I got really good really fast as far as making flies look good, and that's because I did rigorous tying. If you can only understand the amount of flies that I have tied in this very room in 2 years' time, because I've only been tying for 2 years, I mean, it would probably blow your mind. So I did it, and 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 I did it. I did the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Now, when I make videos of these flies, usually it's the first time I've ever tied it, and I just tie it. I take my time, and it'll take me 30 minutes to tie a 5-minute fly perfectly, right? Because you don't see all the mess-ups that I do, because all of that is edited out. So you only see the good stuff, right? So again, just take your time. Watch the ugliest video. I swear to God, I don't know what it is about it, but imagine sitting down and watching a video and you tying a fly for the first time and you tie the fly better than the video. That is an extreme confidence booster, and it will help you more than you can understand. And this is advice that I never had. This is just advice that I am giving you because it makes sense in my brain. But there's been plenty of times, even now, when I will click on a video or I'll click on a picture, especially an Instagram picture. Dude, these Instagram photos are not tied the way you think they are. So they use UV resin to put every fiber perfectly on a lot of different things, and you can't see it because they'll go in there and they'll edit everything out. You will not tie the fly like you see on Instagram. It will not happen. It will not happen. I don't care how good you are. That's, you know, there's a lot of times when I look at a fly or I look at a video and I'm like, man, that looks incredible. I get to tying it and mine looks incredible. But then I look at the screen and I'm like, mine looks perfect. How is this better? And it's because the way that they manipulate the materials after they tie them in. Like right now, if I was going to put this on Instagram, I would take UV resin and I'd put little dots of it. I would separate this all out perfect to where this fly would be, it would look like one of the best flies you would ever see. But you can take gold foil and put it on a turd over and over again until it looks like a block of gold. Underneath it, it's still a turd. So again, trust what I'm telling you. Tie, practice, do not look for the pretty flies. And I know it just took me like 10 minutes to say the same thing because I repeated myself 100 times, but just trying to drill it into your head. It's 11:05 p.m. I don't even know, man. Tens of thousands. I mean, there's been plenty of weeks where, I mean, I was tying 250 to 300 worms a day for 7 days a week. That was just the worms. That wasn't including then coming on at night and tying more on my lives. This is just throughout the day. So I mean, I did that for like 2 or 3 months there in a row, or 2 months or something like that in a row. So that really added up. It's tens of thousands. I mean, I've probably put 50,000 fly. Maybe not 50,000. I don't know. I have no clue. Rojo. Somebody said yeah, Rojo's in here. What's up, man? Appreciate that, Dammy. JJ, I'm from Virginia. So, here's what I task you to do. Anybody that ties flies that is in here right now, and it doesn't matter how good you are, I do not care if you've been tying for 30 years. Also, Jackson, buddy, hey, man, look, brother Jackson, I know you're trying to be a renegade and all that, and I respect you for that, but brother, please, just relax, man. Let's just relax. There's this little bit of tension. We don't need it, right? We're having a good time. Please, brother. So, I task you. I don't care how long you've been tying, and there's a lot of people. I've only been tying for 2 years, and I tie flies a lot better than a lot of different people. But there's a lot of people that tie flies better than I do. When you get over here tonight, I want you to go and look at the pattern you've been wanting to tie. You haven't tried it yet because maybe you're too intimidated or you just haven't got around to it. And I want you to find the worst one you can tie. And then I want you to tie it. And then I want you to think about how that makes you feel. And then I want you to find the prettiest one and then compare your fly to that fly. And that might make you feel sad, but then you'd find, so it's in levels, like you got the ugliest, you got like a medium looking, and then you got a very good looking. After you tie the ugly looking one, maybe his fly was ugly because a couple techniques were lacking, so then you tie like the medium looking one. Then you tie the good looking one. You got to work yourself up in stages. So, anyway, so that's enough rambling. I hope that I could teach you a little bit tonight. Also, if you have you have questions or you need tips or whatever, reach out. Rojo, I've lost a couple pounds, but I've lost like, I don't know, 13 pounds in the past month. Flycraft. Let's see here. I do have it. They said the first fly. Let me see, is this in the... The first thing I ever tied was a jig. Whew, goodness, I'm getting sleepy. Let's see here. I'm looking at my wall over here. I got my very first woolly bugger I ever tied. Hold on a second, I'm getting there. Looking through these flies over here. Okay, here's the first woolly bugger. I can grab it down off of here. And yeah, I do still have the first fly I ever tied. Now, this woolly bugger, keep in mind, I mean, this was like, when I first started tying, this was, let me cut this little piece of monofilament off the end of it. This was when and I fished this fly too, but this is when I first started, and this was the very first woolly bugger I tied. Within the next few days, hopefully, buddy. I mean, look at that. Hot garbage. And I tied this within the first, like, week of me tying. So, there's a lot of people in here that don't realize that my fly videos, I started filming videos 2 weeks after I started tying. And if you'd like to see those videos, well, they're on TikTok. So if you follow me on TikTok, my TikTok handle is @tiesflies. And if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll go all the way and you'll see the first video on there is me, and it says teaching my wife how to tie a jig, and it's her sitting there and I'm like filming from behind her with my phone. You will see some ass tying, dude. I mean some dog ass, like the worst looking flies you've ever seen. And if you just sit there and they used to be long. Now my videos are 1 minute long. They're never over a minute. Well, they're 1 minute and 1 second. Sometimes 1 minute and 2 seconds, but they're never over a minute and 2. But the reason is because it needs to be over a second to push the algorithm. If it's more than a second, you can't put it on YouTube. So I spin the fly an extra time at the end of the video. So if you go on my TikTok, like, they are long and drawn out. But if you sit there and just scroll slowly and look through my flies, you'll notice it gets better and better and better. And then you'll see, like, when I got a professional camera, which has been over a year now, because it was all done with my phone. And I used to have my phone mounted. Damn it. I used to have a mount that I kept my phone on, and it was in between me and the vise. So I'm tying like this, right? So then I said, screw that. Now I put the camera behind the vise, and it points on me. But you'll see, like, and you'll also notice on photography it gets better. Like, my videography gets better and better and better and better. So you guys should go check out my TikTok @tiesflies, and I'll know if you did it, or let me know if you did it. Go scroll down through those videos and comment something. Let me know, like, hey, I just went and watched. Amanita, are you worried about my weight? I mean, what is it about my weight that bothers you, Amanita? Don't delete their comment. They're all right. I'd like to know what it is that you're worried about with my weight, Amanita. Yeah, Rojo. It was she was in a pursuit, and she had just started working in her new. She's a deputy, and she just started working in her new promotion or whatever. And she, like, the first week on the job, she had to see. She got in a pursuit with a guy. He was a veteran, and it is a bother, though. Don't worry about what my body looks like, Amanita. Mind your own business. Because this isn't bothering you at all. My wife doesn't mind it. So, and if she does, she don't say nothing. You don't know what health problems I have, so I'm not going to take a diabetes medicine to lose weight. So please leave and don't ever come back. Anyway, so they got in a pursuit, and it was a really uncomfortable situation. And then the guy was a veteran, and he was a veteran Marine, I believe they said. He was a veteran, but they come to a halt. Well, they come to a really slow creep, and they had been following them for miles and miles, like going 100 down a back road, Alright, go ahead and block Amanita. Amanita obviously is a little slow. Don't let the big body fool you. We'll just say that. But anyway, after they slowed down, the dude, it's taking me forever to tell a story because I'm tired and because dumbass over here won't stop running their mouth. But he pulled the thing out and blasted himself, offed himself. And she was like behind him and to the side a little bit. And she had a clear view, and like she had, she was drawing on him. And this went to becoming a very tense standoff for like a half hour because they didn't know. They couldn't confirm because they couldn't see in the vehicle if he was gone or not. And, you know, she said that she's seen his brains splatter all over the window and hair was flying everywhere. It's just awful. And she's like, you know, oh, I'm fine. But I know better. Yeah, every once in a while, somebody will come in here and make comments about me being overweight. I mean, whatever that's going to do. But I really don't care. You just sound stupid. Why would you guess I'm from Mexico? Yeah, it's all good, Rojo. She says that she's alright. Like, oh no, it didn't bother me at all. And I'm like, you know, it might not bother you yet, but you don't know if it's going to be in 5 months or in 5 years or in 5 days. It's going to hit you. Wow, JJ, that's really funny, man. I guess I look like a Mexican. Oh. I was like, what the hell? I do like fishing, yeah. I do. I really enjoy it. Anyway, well, I'm just sitting here dwindling away, and I'm really tired. And I'm going to go back here and lay beside my wife, who is ashamed of me. And I'm going to cry. And I'm going to be like, honey, I wish I could do more for you in bed. Because that's apparently what my life is based around, according to that person that commented without a brain. So, yeah. I do play poker, Wayne. I do. I'm really good at it. Yeah, people that body shame, I mean, they do that because they don't know how to express that they have a shortcoming, right? So they don't know, they don't understand that, like, they have the mental capacity of a 2-year-old, and they see something and they're like, oh, this person's fat. Let me let them know that they're fat. Like, I don't already know that I'm a fat ass. So it's kind of weird that people do that. It's like, you know, if brains were grains, they wouldn't have enough to produce a tick's turd. So, anyway, appreciate you guys for stopping in. But I'm going to hop off of here. Thank you guys for coming in. Thank you guys that stayed. Again, go to my TikTok, at tiesflies, and just go to the bottom and be like, I made it. And then whatever video you watch, put a heart, put something. Just let me know, like, hey. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. Later.